The Master Jam World Finals has had its fair share of iconic moments over the years, from underdog racing wins to unforgettable freestyle runs, and from jaw-dropping stunts to unfathomable heights. The World Finals never ceases to disappoint. But with so many moments to pick from, what are some of the most iconic moments in Master Jam World Finals history? That's why today we are counting down the top 10 most iconic Master Jam World Finals moments. Number 10, Son of a Digger debut. We are kicking off our list with the debut of one of Master Jam's most dominant names. At the beginning of the 2011 season, Son of a Digger was set to debut, but due to an injury sustained by its driver, Ryan Anderson, the truck was put on hold until the World Finals. To close out the 2011 event, Ryan Anderson would debut this absolutely magnificent truck. Its menacing purple headlights and fearsome paint scheme made it a fan favorite from the moment it hit the floor. However, it was the cleanest backflip of the night that sealed the deal and put Son of a Digger into the history books. From that event onwards, Son of a Digger became a force to be reckoned with and has become a staple in Master Jam, with 4 world championships to its name. And that's why it deserves the number 10 spot. Number 9, World Finals 21 Championship Race. The only race on this list, World Finals 21, saw easily the most chaotic racing final of all time. The first night of competition started with much controversy. The weather was less than ideal, raining out the event and causing a huge delay. It was ultimately decided that they would run the racing championship and move the skills championship to the following day, with freestyle and high jump. The racing bracket flew by with only a few hiccups along the way, but it was the championship race when the rain rolled through. And it wasn't just a light sprinkle, it was a torrential downpour. A literal monsoon was headed towards Camping World Stadium at the absolute worst time, right when Master Jam was moments from crowning a racing champion. Master Jam would run the race, leading to easily one of the most, if not the most, cinematic races of all time. The once intense and exciting over-under course became a literal nightmare trying to navigate in conditions akin to driving on ice. Gravedigger driver Brandon Vincent and Son of a Digger driver Ryan Anderson struggled to run the course properly, but on the final crossover, both made huge mistakes. Ryan Anderson, running down the straightaway, clipped the jersey barrier, causing him to pop a tire and spin out. Meanwhile, Brandon Vincent seemed to overcompensate in his jump, causing him to spin out as well. Vincent was the only one to recover, slamming the truck into reverse and using the last inch of power the truck had to successfully etch his name into the history books as a world champion. Since then, there has never been a championship race quite like this. Number 8, Captain's Curse World Finals 10. Oh yes, you knew this was gonna be on this list. A moment we've talked about extensively on this channel. The championship race from 2009's World Finals 10 was a controversial moment that gave place to an iconic wreck that is still talked about today. Before Master Trucks would race in the stands, Alex Blackwell became the first to attempt the Master Truck equivalent of crowd surfing in the championship race. Blackwell's Captain's Curse was one of the favorites to win the event after a great night of racing, but a brake failure caused this infamous crash. Rather than driving straight into the wall at high speeds, like the infamous World Finals 15 Titan crash, Blackwell turned the wheel to let the truck roll over, but its momentum sent it flying into the stands. Thankfully, the first few sections were topped off and no one was injured. The momentum gained huge traction when it was posted online, as on TV and DVD, the crash was not shown in any capacity due to tragic events that took place earlier in the season. It was shown on international broadcast, but the most popular footage was fan footage, some of which are still up to this day and have thousands of views. Blackwell would not return to competition following this crash, and unfortunately, Blackwell never came that close to a racing championship ever again. Number 7. Avenger World Finals 7. Mr. Excitement was bound to make this list, and Kohler has had his fair share of moments. From the first camper van smash at World Finals 2, or his first World Championship in 2003, and from his huge leaps at World Finals 16 and 18, there was only ever going to be one moment that trumps them all. His obligatory World Finals fountain jumps.
Yeah! Last minute thoughts. There is no last minute thoughts. Jimmy Creighton, there's no thoughts.
No, in all seriousness though, his World Final 7 wreck was easily his most iconic moment. The beautiful all-chrome Avenger was destroyed in seconds when Kohler broke the sway bar during his freestyle run. When approaching the volcano, Jim's truck shot up straight into the air before crashing down and almost landing in the stands. The sound of the body crunching as the truck lands says it all.
Wow!
And of course, he walked away from it unscathed and jumped straight into the volcano like an absolute legend he truly is. The moment became so iconic, it was featured as the cover for that year's World Finals DVD. A year later, Kohler's wreck was unintentionally replicated, and another moment almost innovated on that crash. Courtney Jolly suffered a similar fate to Kohler, although not as bad, in an eerily similar moment, while Charlie Porkin had a moment somewhat similar of his own, hitting the bread van that was placed on top of the rock pile and coming crashing down. With a moment like Kohler's wreck, how could it not be on this list? Number 6. El Toro Loco World Finals 5. While Lupe Souza's World Finals 5 run wasn't exactly worthy of a World Championship, his memorable crash absolutely deserves the honor of being an iconic moment. World Finals 5 was an absolute truck killer, with so many runs ending early. And then there was Lupe Souza. Souza already had a pretty interesting night rolling over in racing. After fixing the truck and getting it ready for freestyle, it was clear the truck was still hurt. After putting around the track for most of the run, Lupe decided to test his fate by doing a daring stunt. Earlier in the night, Jimmy Creighton in Bounty Hunter, the current freestyle leader, put up an impressive score, but notably got his truck stuck in the giant container stack. Ironically, Lupe Souza had done the exact same thing the previous year, and drivers were instructed then to not hit Lupe's truck. Controversially, this time, Creighton's truck was fair game. So when Lupe backed all the way up to the wall, everyone knew that they were going to witness something special. Miraculously, Souza managed to thread the needle, only just missing Creighton's truck, but totaling it in the process. The entire rear end of the truck came out from underneath, which was just an insane visual. The moment not only gave Creighton a heart attack, but more importantly, it gave him the lead with a score of a 31. Souza, along with Mintz and Medusa, would tie for the World Championship and mark the only co-world champions in World Finals history. Number 5. Monster Mutt Dalmatian World Finals 9. World Finals 9 will go down in history as one of the best events in the history of Monster Jam. The reason? The insane freestyle competition that took place and one iconic obstacle in of itself, the triple bus stack. In years prior, there were big bus stacks. Then, there were even double bus stacks. But in 2008, Monster Jam created the triple bus stack, which drivers and fans were immediately amazed by. And there were quite a few attempts that night. Some came up short, others cleared it. But one attempt in my eyes stood above all of them. The very first. Chad Tingler opened up World Finals 9 with a spectacular run. And what better way to start the show then to set the standard for the night by clearing the triple with ease. He backed up all the way to the wall, nailed the throttle, and soared through the sky and landed on the down ramp on the other side without a scratch. While Adam Anderson would win freestyle that night with an even cleaner attempt, Tingler's moment is just as fondly remembered. Like the Avenger moment from World Finals 7, Tingler's moment was featured on not just the World Finals 9 DVD, but also the 2009 yearbook cover. Since then, the triple has never really come back for a World Finals, making the triple jumps at World Finals 9 and especially Tingler's opening send all the more iconic. Number 4, Gravedigger 30th Anniversary Encore. Team Gravedigger has had a few iconic moments at the World Finals, but in my personal opinion, none are more iconic than the 30th Anniversary Encore. At World Finals 13, an epic celebration of Gravedigger's 30th anniversary took place that was nothing short of spectacular. 7 Gravediggers littered the floor to put on the encore of a lifetime. Notably, a restored red primer Gravedigger would come out onto the track and drive around while the true monsters would just go crazy. Also debuting would be the first iteration of the beloved Grandma Gravedigger. After doing laps and a few jumps, the trucks would set up in front of the 30th anniversary ramp in the middle, while another Gravedigger came out with sparklers to perform some insane donuts. The 4 Gravediggers in the middle collide in midair, only 2 managing to remain on all 4 wheels afterwards. And the best part, after the carnage of the planned stunt, the remaining Gravediggers kept going. Every truck goes into a free-for-all freestyle, smashing and flipping into just about everything. Flipped over trucks weren't safe. Other trucks performed spinning pirouettes. And of course, all of them finished either completely wrecked or on their roofs. There have been many amazing Gravedigger anniversary encores, but in my opinion, none are more iconic than the 30th anniversary celebration. Number 3, Todd Leuk, World Finals 15. The World Finals has seen many huge air leaps over the years, and now they even have a dedicated competition for it. But it goes without saying that the most iconic big air moment came from Todd Leuk at World Finals 15. The track was a truck killer. Very little drivers could figure out how to properly approach this track. And then there was Todd Leuk, who went full Freebird mode and soared his Metal Militia truck across Sandboyd Stadium. A leap so massive, he had 4 seconds of hang time and landed perfectly down and continued on his run like nothing ever happened. It stunned fans, drivers, crews, and just about everyone in Sandboyd Stadium. It was easily the biggest air in World Finals history, and the best part was the truck was fine and Leuk continued to burn it down afterwards. Since that iconic leap, the move has been affectionately labeled as the Leuk leap and has been replicated in other events and other World Finals multiple times, including by Todd Leuk himself. Number 2, World Finals 2 Encore. Yet another encore that made this list. It arguably defines the word iconic, and it set the precedent for Monster Jam's entire future. And it probably deserves its own video one day. After Dennis Anderson's premature end to a spectacular freestyle and Tom Mintz was crowned the freestyle champion, utter chaos began to ensue as Anderson wanted to send his fans home happy with a fulfilling run. Due to the event being streamed live to pay-per-view, there was still time to fill as 3 trucks didn't even get to freestyle. So the encore sequence was entirely improvised. He would bring out Gravedigger number 7 to freestyle, which was even shorter than his main freestyle run, crashing not even 10 seconds after bringing it out. After flipping a second truck over, Dennis would notoriously say,
All we need is one more.
One more?
Just one more.
Anderson would bring out yet another Gravedigger truck, this time number 12, not even hitting a single other jump, and instead just aimed it straight at Tom Mintz's Goldberg truck that was stuck on top the large container stack and also got that truck stuck. Tom, who probably wanted to get in on the action, retaliated by bringing out his other Goldberg chassis and running straight into Gravedigger 14 in the middle of the track. The entire Encore culminated with the legends of the sport, Dennis Anderson and Tom Mintz, embracing in the center of the track, showing that on the track they may be fierce rivals, but off the track they are best friends. This Encore will always be remembered by fans for its sheer chaotic nature that would go on to define Monster Jam and the future of the World Finals. It's one of the most iconic moments of all time, but the honor of most iconic World Finals moment, however, belongs to another. There are so many moments to choose from, and it's hard to not include them all, but here are 3 honorable mentions that almost made the cut. Maximum Destruction World Finals 5. If there was ever any moment that perfectly described the name of Tom Mintz's truck, World Finals 5 would be that moment. A freestyle of pure and absolute carnage. Tom Mintz pushes a broken Maximum Destruction truck around the track for the majority of the run, slamming into every obstacle on the track. Nothing was safe. Cars, vans, dirt mounds, and even a large container stack. Tom Mintz truly lived up to the name Maximum Destruction that night, with a freestyle that always hits you with a whiff of nostalgia every time you watch it. Megalodon World Finals 22. A more recent example, Todd Leuk would innovate on his iconic Leuk leap with what many call the Leuk loop. At World Finals 22 in Nashville, Leuk had a pretty mediocre run, but it was clear that he was building up to a big finish. He approached the backflip ramp and hit it with such speed, the truck would do one huge backflip, miraculously landing on all 4 BKT tires without a scratch. Mohawk Warrior World Finals 13. Backflips have become a staple of Monster Jam and would soon become a staple of the World Finals itself. But very quickly, variations of the backflip would become iconic moments in of themselves. None are more iconic, however, than the consecutive backflip. At World Finals 13, George Balhan performed the first. The art of a consecutive backflip is almost as impressive as a double, as rather than getting 2 rotations in the air, you instead have multiple backflips in succession. It was a shame Balhan performed the move right after the time had expired, because if he had done it during his time, he could have very easily been in the conversation for the World Championship. And number 1, VP Mad Scientist World Finals 18. Without a shadow of a doubt, the front flip has to be the most iconic moment in Monster Jam World Finals history. A move so unbelievable, it became a viral moment. During an epic World Finals 18 freestyle competition, Lee O'Donnell, driving the VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist, had a solid freestyle run that was counting down to its final moments. O'Donnell nails the backflip and goes to perform a signature Charlie Porkin slap wheelie, but was carrying so much speed, he ended up performing the world's first successful monster truck front flip. And with a move like that, it was almost impossible for anyone else to try and top O'Donnell. Controversially, he would win his first and only freestyle championship with this unfathomable move and make history as a first to perform a front flip in competition. To this day, some drivers have come close, but none have replicated this move successfully. No other Monster Jam moment has really come close to the level of virality of the front flip. From being mentioned on news and talk shows, to even a song being written about it. I wish I was kidding. With a moment so globally recognized, it's no surprise that it takes the cake as the number 1 most iconic moment in Monster Jam World Finals history. And well, that is all we have for you today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with some more Monster Truck content.
Holy cow, guys. It's Lindsay Wink. Iron out. Iron out. He put the wrong shirt on. You put the wrong shirt on, dude.
You need to shut the